Ray here. Hope everybody is doing well. As many of you know, I love guitars, as most of us do, and over the years I've collected a handful of different types of guitars, and some of the guitars I like most are the ones that are a little bit different or unusual. I love my Gibsons, I love my Les Pauls, my Explorers, my Flying V's. One of the guitars that I'm a big fan of, and the reason I wanted to do this video, is because of this guitar here. This is the Gibson SG Menace, which was part of their Menace line. They did a Les Paul version of this as well, and I think there were some others as well. I'm not sure. They may have done an Explorer or Flying V. But I know they have a Les Paul and an SG version of this. A little bit of a different setup or not setup, but just kind of makeup, if you will, than the typical SG here. You can see they have the smoky coil pickups, the brass knuckle here, if you can see this inlay there, and then up here as well has the little kind of Gibson with the hearts. A little bit different. Definitely a player's guitar. Thing is built like a tank. Definitely enjoy playing this for anything from cleans to rock right into the heavy metal. Got some great pickups on here. It's got a mahogany body and a mahogany neck. The fingerboard is ebony. It's got a black flat finish to it. 60s style neck. Grover tuners. It's got the Grover tuners on it, which I love Grover tuners. Very smooth, and it really is a smooth as you're tightening up. I really like that. This guitar was made in 2005. I believe they made them for a few years. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen any of these before 2005. I've seen them as high, as late, I should say, as 2007, 2008 even, I believe. So they didn't make them for that long. You can find them out on Reverb. There's usually a couple there. There's not a ton of them out there. You can usually find them for anywhere from, I'd say, maybe $550 if you're lucky, up to $6, $7. I've seen as high as $1,000, but I wouldn't pay that. Definitely, as I said before, it's built very sturdy. The smoky coils, I do like them. The one thing they're not covered, they kind of are exposed. The aesthetic thing of having kind of the coil, the smoky coils exposed is kind of to add to the I guess the mystique, if you will, of the guitar. Neck has a 490R on it. The bridge has a 498T. So I would say they stand up well. They're a little bit less aggressive than, say, an EMG, but I'd say a little bit warmer, a little heavier than your standard Gibson pickups. For example, on my Les Paul, on the 57s, I would say these have a little more growl to them, if you will. But they're not muddy, and it's not overdone. I'd say it's a nice, it seems to blend well. It stands out nice in a mix. I really like how sturdy the guitar is built. Again, with the 60 style neck, I have liked a little bit thicker of a string. Today we're going to do a setup on this bad boy here. Again, you can see it's got its fair share of nicks and dings, but this is a player's guitar. This isn't a, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 Les Paul. This is a guitar you can get for under $1,000. Not saying you should beat the hell out of it, but just saying that you can, work it. It's a working guitar. I have enjoyed the fact that I can use different size strings on this guitar. On a lot of my guitars, I will use the 10 through 46. I've been using Ernie balls for a long time. Over the last couple of years, I've kind of switched over to the NYXL D'Addarios. I've tried the 46s on it. I have the 52s I use on some of the other guitars. My Ibanez IC 400, I like the 10 through 52. And then on these are the 11 through 56s. They're a little bit chunkier. They has the 11 for the high E string there. I kind of like the heavier string here because when I use this guitar, I'm usually kind of chunking stuff, jerk kind of stuff, and it does it very well. It does great with some of the higher gain amps. I like the fact that on some of my Les Pauls, for some reason, when I get into some of the chugging kind of stuff, some of the times when if I push too hard, the strings will hit the pickup casing and you'll hear that sound. One thing I like about this is it seems to hold up very well. I'm not sure if it's because of the height that I have it set at right now, but it just seems to take a good, chunky, hard, aggressive pick attack well. So this is the Gibson Menace SG. Again, we're going to put some bigger strings on it. The 11 through 56 is on it. Let's see if there's anything else that I've missed on this bad boy here. I think that's about it. Oh, it does have the quick, easy speed knobs, two volume, two tone, and I love tone, as many I've said on many of my videos. I've got a couple guitars they've taken the tone switch out, and I hate that. I love the tone switch because it's an easy adjustment. Sometimes I like my leads to have a little bit more clear, a little bit more bright, and so I can roll the tone off or up or whatever where it's brighter, and then when I'm playing my chunky, I can kind of roll it back a little bit so that I can have that thicker tone. Three-way switch from the treble to your rhythm, as they call it here, 1, 2, and 3 there. And that's about it. It's fairly thin in its design and build. Again, mahogany and then ebony here. I think that's about it. It's not too heavy, but it's balanced perfectly. The one thing I like about this SG is when I'm playing it and it's on me, it sits perfectly. Low, high, however you want to set it, it hangs around me well. So I'm gonna put some different strings on it, check the truss rod, check my string height, go through it, check the wiring, and make sure everything's good. I'll probably use a little of my Deoxit G100 that I love so much and spray it in there to make sure everything's good. Check out the wiring, make sure we're good to go, and all the connections. Check all the bolts and everything, and just give it a real good run through, and then we'll try it out. Okay, so we were able to go through and put some new strings, do a quick tune-up on this. Want to just play a little bit through it so you can kind of hear some of it, you know, give a little feel for the way it sounds. Nothing too fancy. I won't run it through my Studio One and all that stuff. Just going to play right through and let the cameras kind of like pick it up. But just wanted to give you a kind of a clean channel. It's pretty. Got a very responsive tone, very chimey. Might be a little too bright. Oh, I had my overdrive on. That's probably why it was a little bit bright. Sorry about that. Now for kind of a rock sound. To a very smooth, both in playing, the way it feels, and then also in the way the responsiveness is in the pickups. sustain too. It's just a very well built guitar. Again, great for chunky chords. I have the heavier strings right now. And it doesn't have that ping ping or anything when you're kind of muting, palm muting. And one of the things I also noticed that it seems to take, with my action up not super high, I'm still able to pull pinch harmonics and all that. Some of the other Les Pauls, one of the issues that I have sometimes is I have to really bring the string height up to really clear it free when I'm playing some of that. And with this right here, with the SG Menace, actually does it very well. So that is the Gibson SG Menace. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. I'm very appreciative, and thank you for all the comments. I love the conversations. So if you haven't had a chance to, I would very much love it if you would join. Thanks again. And again, any questions or comments, please leave them below. And next week we'll be talking about a different Fender that I've recently brought in. It's kind of an unusual one. So thanks again, and hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.